is $300,000. So Assurance's protection will apply on $450,000. So in this case, we will use our protection of 85%. So that gives us a total benefit of $382,500. So that is the least amount that Jack will retain if Company A were to fail. So I also want to point out in this situation, going back to the philosophy of being covered separately through individual policies and group policies, if Jack had a group policy with his employer, it is clear that he would also retain separate protection for that. Okay, so Patrick and Claire. So Patrick is turning 71 next month. He always managed his finances, never really needed a financial advisor, but he thought now it was time to reach out to one. So he heard great things from his daughter Susan and reaches out to you for some advice. So he tells you that he currently has $250,000 invested in GICs. He asks you what happens if his life insurance company fails. So you explain to Patrick that right now, if his company were to fail, Assurance's accumulated value protection will apply. So right now he has $250,000. Assurance protects up to $100,000 for the accumulated value benefit. The 85% protection does not apply in this case. So if his company were to fail today, he will retain $100,000. But he recognizes that he needs to convert his RRSP into a payout annuity or a RIF. He chooses to convert it to a payout annuity. His monthly income is currently $1,500 a month. So he asks you, what happens if my life insurance company fails? And you explain to him that Assurance's monthly income protection applies. So in this example, he is fully protected because it is below Assurance's level of $2,000. So had he chosen to convert his RSP to a RIF, I just want to show you what that would look like. So his monthly income would be around $1,100 with current interest rate assumptions. So he is well protected under Assurance's monthly income coverage again. So just wanted to show you the balance between doing the payout annuity and if you were to convert it to a RIF. Okay. So his wife Claire owns segregated funds. He likes the work that you did with him, so he now asks you to talk to Claire. She tells you that she invested in segregated funds with Company B. So she originally invested $100,000. You explain to Claire, when she asks you what happens to her money, that Assurance will protect the guarantee on segregated funds. So I had mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that the guarantee on segregated funds is considered a cash value protection for Assurance. So she originally invested $100,000. The segregated fund that she invested in has a 75% guarantee. So Assurance's protection applies to $75,000, not the initial amount invested, which was $100,000. So we use our cash value protection, which is $60,000 or 85%. So 85% times $75,000, Claire would retain at least $63,750. Okay. Next, Laura and Marie. So Laura and Marie own a startup technology company, and they'd like to fund a buy-sell agreement. So they reach out to you, and after showing them their options, they decide to buy a life insurance policy, both a universal life insurance policy, on each other's lives. So Laura buys one on Marie, and Marie buys one on Laura. So Laura is older than Marie, so it is understood that Marie would be paying a bit more into this policy. So they ask you the same question: how is their universal life policy protected? So this is Laura's policy on Marie's life. So the death benefit and the cash value, same principle. So the death benefit is for $1 million. We'll apply our protection of 85%. So Laura will retain at least $850,000. The cash value is $15,000, fully protected. Marie's policy on Laura's life, same concept. There's a death benefit and a cash value. So we'll apply our 85% protection on the death benefit, which gives us $850,000. The cash value is above Assurance's level of $60,000, so we'll apply the 85%. So you will notice in this one there is the accumulated value, and That is something that I had mentioned earlier, which is what we consider to be the overflow account. So in this policy, it is receiving separate protection. So the accumulated value is $40,000. So in this policy, Marie's policy, she will retain 3 different types of benefits. Okay. Now, Adele and Lucas. So Adele and Lucas would like to leave their cottage as an inheritance to their son. So the best option for them was a joint last to die insurance policy. So they ask you how their benefits would be protected in this case, and it's the same principle. The death benefit for $400,000, we would protect that at 85%, and the cash value would be fully protected in this example. Now, Adele realizes that she purchased an individual policy from the same company that she purchased the joint policy. So she asks you, how would her individual policy be protected? So you take a look at her individual policy, and it is a term policy for $200,000. So that is fully protected. But now that she has the joint life policy, she's worried that they would be added together. But that's not the case. So even though it was the same member company that issued both these policies, the joint last to die policy is protected separately from Adele's individual policy. So if you look here, she will be protected with the joint policy for $340,000, and the individual policy is fully protected at $200,000. Okay. So there are 2 things that Jose and I would like you to take away from the presentation today. The main thing is that policyholders are protected by Assurance. When there is an insolvency, they will hear it on the news, they will get information from wherever they are, and as Jose mentioned, even if it's not their life insurance company that has failed, they will be concerned and they will turn to you for advice. So that's where we're asking you as financial advisors to help us fulfill our mission and let them know that they are protected by Assurance. The second thing is, this was a lot of information for you today, so we don't expect you to memorize it all, just know where to find that information. So there are many resources available for you guys. Jose had listed a couple of them. I'll just pull that up for you there as well. So we do have brochures available for you. I know advisors like to have a stack of them when they're dealing with clients to just hand out. We will send them to you free of charge. Our website is the most useful tool. Our website does have a list of examples the way they've been laid out today on the table. If you have any questions there, and our information center is available as well, and it is bilingual, French and English 24/7. I don't think anyone would be calling about failures at 2 a.m. in the morning, but just in case, the resource is available. Okay? So we'll take questions now. Yeah.
So if I've got an individual policy and I've got another policy from my own private corporation, are these benefits aggregated?
If you have an individual policy and one for your corporation.
What my corporation pays for you?
If it's on your life, they will be added together.
What would happen if I take their self policy from this company to a client, okay, and because they are not registered, do I tell them ahead of time that if the company goes bankrupt, you get zero?
Yeah.
Sorry, I took off my mic, so I'll stand behind here. The question was on credit union protection, and credit union protection is by province, so you should look up what it is. and it will not be the same protection as provided by Assurance on deposit or by CDIC on bank deposits. So credit unions do have a different level of protection. So that was the question. Any other questions?
The insurance companies pay a premium into assurance.
Quick question. Thank you for the half-hearted applause. The question was whether members pay a premium. They do not. They pay an initial fee, which is quite low, but they are assessed. If there's an insolvency, then it's post-funded, and it will be based on the solvency buffer or their capital requirements as per the regulator, what their portion will be to pay for assurance. I think that's it. Thank you. If anybody has any other questions, please come and talk to us separately.